Today we are talking about client retention and deepening. So typically, we are very focused on scaling our business and adding in more clients to our business, but we want to make sure that there is a process in place to continue to service those clients that we already have. And you know it, there are clients that are so loyal. If you have a field in your CRM that's called client since, for example, and you use that field, you can actually report and see, who's been loyal to you for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So we want to make sure that those guys are not slipping through the cracks. So Philip and I are going to focus on ways to continue to service those clients, to do it quickly and almost in an automated way. So I'll go ahead and pass it over to Philip real quick, get a brief introduction, and then we'll get started.
Nora, thank you. Great to see you again. Looking forward to this conversation. And hello there to everybody out on the lines. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about PreciseFP and Bento Engine. Philip here, co-founder and CEO, many years in wealth management, always very focused on leading with advice. Because Nora, I firmly believe that some of the best marketing that advisors can do is to serve their existing clients really well. If and when you do that, good things will happen. When you think about the retention, the loyalty, the share of wallet, the referral rate, they all go up if and when you all do the right thing and serve your clients comprehensively during moments that matter on their life journeys. And that's what we'll bring to life today.
Yes, I love that you mentioned that because you can buy all the radio ads, all the TV speaking spots, but no matter what, advisors are always reporting that referrals are their number one source of business. So put gasoline where there is fire, right? And make sure that you're doing what works. And a lot of the time that's with referrals. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. You should be able to see PreciseFP right now. And what PreciseFP is doing typically is data gathering. So right off the bat, you see ultimate, return of investment by onboarding clients. It takes an onboarding and gets it done super quickly, gets it done at scale, and make sure that you get everything that you need in one spot at one time instead of sending multiple links or having multiple different interactions to get the information that you need. And that's what PreciseFP is at its core. But I want to talk about kind of data maintenance and continuing to service your clients as they, aren't in that onboarding stage. So if I go to accounts on the left, I'm going to go ahead and search for Jones. So I can search in the search bar here. I can do a control F, whatever I want, but this is going to pull up some of our families here. And I can even pull up, the Smith family as well. Those are the two families that we're going to be focusing on most today. So let's say I have Susan Smith and Owen Smith here that I've already built a relationship with. You'll notice right off of the bat that there is a low data quality score here. This data quality score is one of my favorite things in PreciseFP just because it's going to take the FINRA Know Your Client requirements and make a calculation for you. So, typically when you open your CRM or you open up your financial planning software, you're just overwhelmed with all of the different fields available that you can collect and all of the different pages that everything exists on. So this data quality really coordinates well with the FINRA Know Your Client requirements, so you can see exactly what are those items that you're missing from them. Because typically when you're working with a prospect, maybe all you know is their name and their email, and hopefully their date of birth as well. But you're going to want to continue to get that information beyond that stage. So if I go to the profile page here, I just want to go through the information that we have as well. And a best practice is to actually use PreciseFP to get a bird's eye view of all that data you have. Because there's a lot of repetition of data, right? You're going to have this in your CRM. You're going to have it in your financial planning software. You're going to have it in PreciseFP. And it's kind of like, where do I go, when, and why? And I've worked with a lot of offices that actually like to work out of PreciseFP because this is one single page. It's one scroll that's going to have all of the information that is most important for doing financial service business. So you don't have to, click on a tab and scroll down, click edit, things like that. You're saving clicks by doing it through PreciseFP, and it's in one nice organized page. So if you go through here, you can see that there is a bunch of information that is missing. If you're noticing some error here and you're thinking, wait, I have some of this information in Redtail, or I have some of this information in eMoney, import that in. You can do that using the import button and go ahead and choose one of the options here. And that's a best practice as well for current clients. Pull them in from the other software first for two reasons. First is to make sure that all the data that you have on them is in PreciseFP. And second is to make sure that proper linkage happens. So as you export them out later back into Redtail or back into eMoney, it won't create a duplicate. It'll just update that record that already exists. But if this is really all the information that you have on them, your job next is to continue to data gather, and you can do that really easily. And best practice for if you need to do this for a lot of clients is one option, you can select them all and do this in bulk. Or the second option that I like better is just to set that as your goal today. And within a year, you'll be caught up, assuming every time someone comes in for a review, you do this process. So the process is this. If Susan is coming in for a review, send her a pre-filled fact finder and ask her to give everything a once over and fill in anything that's missing or that's incorrect. So the way to do this is I can go back to the accounts page here. I can type Smith back in again. And if I go to Susan Smith, I'll choose engage and with a form. So right now I'm showing all of the recently used forms in my system. You want to do some front end work here. That's just saying, okay, what form do I want to use and how do I want to customize it? You'll notice this one I named Financial Fact Finder Customized because I already went into this fact finder and I added my logo, I added a picture, I added a headshot, I customized the colors to our brand so it looks like it's coming from our office. So yours might not look like the ones that I have here, and you might need to do some customizing that I already did. But if I go ahead and choose review and edit first, what it will do is it'll take all of the information that I have on the Smith family and it'll put it into this fact finder. So like I said, I already went in and I customized this. So you'll notice that logo is there. You'll notice that beautiful picture of Arizona is there, and I put my headshot and also the colors. So the colors are there as well. But if I shoot to the next screen, now it took all of the fields that I have for this family and it pre-filled everything. So now if there is any life changes that happen, it'll show you on that profile change. So let's say the Smith family gets this and they go through, you tell them, give this a once over. If anything is missing or incorrect, put it in. And they go to that children's page and the children's page is blank. And they're like, oh, how did I forget to give my children's information? What a bad parent I am. So all they need to do is fill it out here. So let's say they put in their child Jeff Smith, and we'll put their birthday here as well. So their birthday is July 29th, 1999. And same thing here, they just need to fill out as much information as they want to or have or that you require. If you want to make sure that they put in the email address before moving forward, assuming this is more of an adult child, then you can make this field mandatory. So that way they have to fill that out in order to move forward. And if they have another child to add on, they would just choose that add more option, put in that next child, and we'll put in Lucy here. And she has the same birthday, so they are actually twins. And we'll save that there. And you might want to slim this down. You might want to add to it. Maybe you want them to upload documents. You can put that there. This is great for collecting tax returns or statements. If you have something that you want them to download, you can also do that as well. And this bar will appear for them to download something. And this engagement that I have, this is putting everything all in one. So if I continue to move through the pages here, you'll notice that I get to the risk tolerance questionnaire. So in this fact finder, I'm gathering their information. I'm gathering their risk tolerance score. I even have the IPS statement next that will automatically put their score here as soon as they complete those questions. And then I even put in my calendar here. In this case, this is from G Reminders, but this allows you to send one link to somebody, gather the data, gather their risk tolerance, do the IPS part, and allow them to schedule a time and date on your calendar. So this is jam-packed with things. You can choose to, add everything as well or slim it down the way you see fit. But just by adding in those family members, now I can go back to the Smith family and I can see those changes. So the Smith family is coming in for a review. I can go back to their profile and you'll notice lit up in green with a number inside is all of the changes accumulated. So if I click on that number, it's going to shoot me to that family members section, and all of these icons will coordinate to those changes. So you as an advisor, you might only want to be brought into the process at this part. Delegate to your team the process of when somebody's coming in for a review, send them that pre-filled fact finder, and then just let your team know as soon as that fact finder is returned, I just want an email summary or, a pen and paper summary of those changes so I can be prepared for the meeting. So that's a good way to kind of protect your time as an advisor. So that's what I wanted to show on the PreciseFP side. I wanted to show that it's really easy to continue to service your clients. Make sure you prioritize data maintenance because you work so hard to get that data, but your clients aren't living in a vacuum. So their life is constantly changing. And sometimes they can move on you and not even let you know. So sending that pre-filled fact finder at review time is really going to make sure you have that up-to-date data. And I didn't show it. I could show it very quickly to wrap up. But as soon as you have that information from the Smith family that came in, you can direct your team as well. Now you need to export this over into Redtail or Right Capital, eMoney, wherever the other software is that you're using. Just export it out, and it's going to go ahead and update anything that was changed. So it's not going to create a new record for this family. It's going to update anything that was missing or incorrect. So that way, Philip will talk about it next, but there will be automatic service reminders that pop up.
Excellent, Nora. Just to recap from my perspective, you've built a powerful, elegant tool to take friction out of the all-important data gathering and knowing your clients and prospects. Great. Nonetheless, let's be honest, it's still a little bit of work for the advisor and a little bit of work for the client. And an advisor may sit here and ask, what am I doing this for? And just to state the obvious, the better you know your clients, the better you can serve and deepen them. The better you know your prospects, the higher your chances of actually converting them. So the all-important so what to do with the great data that you've gathered via PreciseFP is what we're focusing on now. That's the next step. Nora, PreciseFP helps you to gather great data, and now Bento helps you to leverage that data, to put that data to good productive use for your benefit and the benefit, of course, of those who you serve. On that note, let me screen share and perhaps take you on a quick PowerPoint journey, and then likewise, I'll pop over into a CRM to bring it to life. Can you
Yeah.
all see a PowerPoint building up?
Yep, I see your PowerPoint right now.
Wonderful. What is Bento Engine? Fundamentally, think of us as a combination of technology and content. Technology to surface next best action alerts, bit of a buzzword right now, in your CRM, combined then with all the content that you need to execute with. And we focus on moments that matter in the life journeys of your clients and prospects. You may wonder, what are these moments that matter? Well, re-meet the Jones family. Bob, Christina, RG1, Charlie, Susie, RG2, and then we have G3 teenage kids, Peter and Ella. You gathered that information via the great tool that Nora just shared. And let's ask ourselves, how many of these moments that matter may the Jones family encounter over the next 10 years? As you can see here, Bob will face one age-based milestone. He'll turn 73 this year and must do RMDs. And he'll face some life events. He receives a windfall, he will buy a new home, he will move to a new state. His wife, Christina, will be able to leverage the QCD strategy this year. She will mourn the passing of her mother and sell a home. Charlie will face 5 age-based milestones starting this year with his ability to make catch-up contributions in his triple tax advantage HSA accounts. Susie, his wife, will have also 5 age-based milestones starting this year with her ability to make catch-up contributions in her retirement accounts. The kids will have a bunch of age-based and life events, going to college, first job, getting married, and that in total leads to more than 3 dozen of moments that matter for one family alone over the next 10 years, 3 dozen opportunities for you to lead with advice that is personal, timely, and impactful. So what we did at Bento Engine is we developed 3 content programs that help you to engage and serve and deepen your clients and prospects. The first program is called Life in Numbers on top here. That focuses on 15 age-based milestones, QCDs, catch-up contributions, Medicare, Social Security, and so on. At the bottom, we have life events. You guessed it, getting married, divorced, having a child, moving to Florida, buying a business, or selling a home. And in the top left corner, we also have a children in wealth program that allows you to engage and serve the next gen from very early on, helping them on their fin-led journey. You can buy your own, programs. You can customize your own journey from a content point of view. From a tech point of view, here's how Bento works. Bento integrates into your CRM. For an advisor, there's no new system to learn, no new login, no new app on the workstation. You continue to use your CRM as is. We integrate into all these leading systems you see listed here. We do that via APIs. We plug in our advice engine. The advice engine constantly scans all the great data in your CRM to identify upcoming advice opportunities. When we find one, we pull the right content from our proprietary content library and then very proactively at the right point in time alert you via a task or activity back in your CRM. Now, let me bring it to life real quick in a live demo. I'm toggling over to Salesforce. Can you all see a Salesforce environment building up?
Yep, I see Salesforce right now.
Excellent. I'm picking Salesforce here. The experience is the same in Redtail, Wealthbox, Practify, whatever else you might be using. Nora, you're our advisor today. It's Monday morning. After your third cup of coffee, you fire up your CRM. And given that you're half organized, you'll go to your task list, your to-dos for the day. As you can see here, some of the tasks have nothing to do with Bento Engine, everything to do with your regular course of business. But then you also see these age-based alerts, these children wealth alerts, these life events. Those were indeed pushed by Bento Engine into your CRM, alerting you of upcoming advice opportunities. And ta-da, you see the Smith family, you see parts of the Jones family that are now in your to-do list because there are actionable things you can do with the great information that you gathered before. If you don't want to advise Jeff Smith on how to think about health insurance now that he's rolling off his parents' health insurance, if you don't want to do that work, no big deal. You delete the task and move on with your day. If, however, Susan Smith, Social Security, really piques your interest, you haven't advised her on this topic yet, then you click this link to this standard alert structure. The structure is always the same. Hey, your good client is about to experience this life event, in this case, Social Security benefits at full retirement age. In case you haven't rendered the appropriate advice yet, now would be a good time. And then we give you links to compliance pre-approved content for you to execute with. So if your client is a visual learner and you have them coming in for a quarterly review meeting anyhow, then you would follow link number 3 or 4 and access the PowerPoint or PDF version of the advice. Did a PDF pop up for you on Social Security?
Yes.
Perfect. The materials are always short and sweet, a page or two. Compliance pre-approved, ready to go, covering the what, the why, and the how. What is Social Security benefits? What is a simple decision tree? What is break-even timing? And then on the last page, we keep everybody safe, disclaimers, quality further reading, the underlying code and current as of. On that note, laws and regulations change all the time. And when they do, we quickly update the materials. We keep them current so that you don't have to, and so that you can always advise your clients on the latest and greatest. Not everybody is a visual learner. Some of your clients would much rather have a conversation. In that case, you follow link number 2 and access the talking points version of the advice. Those help you to prepare for the conversation, to frame the conversation, and then they spoon feed to you the key messages to relay in an impactful dialogue on the topic at hand. We also have an email version of the advice in case you want to get things going that way. And last thing I want to show you here is for every topic, we have internal use only advisor FAQs. Think of these as a cheat sheet for your back pocket. If you need a refresher on Social Security benefits, how exactly do things work again, then you can turn to this great internal training resource, again organized around the what, the why, and the how. It's simple FAQ style. And if your eyes are very good here, our subject matter experts always cite the underlying text code so that everybody can backtrace what the advice is actually based on. There you have it. That's Bento Engine in a nutshell. I think you understand. Deep bi-directional integration into the CRM. We mine the data to identify upcoming advice opportunities. And then when we find one, we not only alert the advisor in the CRM, but we also equip you with compliance pre-approved content to execute with. And that content always comes in multiple formats so that you can pick the best mode of communication on a client or prospect specific basis. So to tie things up, and as we open it up for Q&A, big picture, PreciseFP to gather data, Bento to action the data. And the common linkage between our system today is the CRM, which we view as the hub of the tech stack of client-centric firms like you. With that, Nora, perhaps now is a good time to pause and see if there are any comments or questions from the audience.
Yes, that is beautiful. Thank you so much. Our good friend Jim said that is cool with exclamation points and capital letters. So I love that. Thank you for showing us. I know you mentioned in today's example, I was the advisor, and not that I'm super ahead of things on top of things, but can you be maybe a go-getter and look at things that are upcoming, and maybe not just as soon as it happens?
Absolutely. So two comments there. Number one, the alerts always come proactive into your CRM so that you can be proactive. And how proactive we set the alerts can be customized. We have some recommendations, how proactive to be based on the advice opportunity at hand, but we can customize that at point of onboarding. And we can do a 1 year look forward. So if you want to know what are all the opportunities I'm facing this year, we can do that for you as well.
Oh, great. And I bet people, when they do that look ahead, actually find business opportunities or opportunities to gain more wallet share where,
That's what it's all about at the end of the
mm,
day. Let's be real. Whether or not you get the alerts spoon fed to you as they happen, or whether or not you bunch them on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly basis, when you action the alerts, when you engage and serve your clients during these moments that matter, everybody benefits, everybody wins.
yeah, yeah, you're not dropping the ball, you're not seeing any missed items. That's leading to more referrals, but it allows you to scale as well. So as you get more business, you can handle it because of all these automations. I do have a question that came in from Jim as well. He said, "What is this life and number, life events, or children and wealth? Can you explain these programs, please?"
Absolutely. Life in Numbers focuses on the 15 age-based milestones that Uncle Sam gives us. Catch-up contributions at 50, QCDs at 70 and a half, working papers for the kids, and opening custodial IRA accounts at age 14. Uncle Sam in the US gives us 15 age-based milestones that trigger distinct wealth management risks or opportunities. And given that they're birthday based, one can be very proactive. The Life Events program, as the name suggests, focuses on more dynamic events: getting married, divorced, having a child, moving to Florida, buying a business, or selling a home. That don't always happen, but oftentimes happen in the lives of your clients. And when they do, they represent major opportunities for you to serve with relevant advice and build trust, goodwill that way, and frankly, capture money in motion. Think about death of a loved one, you know,
Mhm.
a sad event, but also a money in motion event. And you being there proactively with sound advice will benefit everybody. And last but not least, Jim, the Children Wealth Program focuses on the financial literacy journey of G2 or G3 of your client families. So if you want to connect with the parents and children themselves and help them develop healthy financial literacy skills from early on, that program is for you. The programs are defined more on our website, bentoengine.com. You can check out the programs in greater detail there. And like I said, you can pick your own journey. You can start with one program or all three, up to you.
Really great. And I know that, you know, you kind of need some order to the chaos, so that really helps break it out really nicely. I do want to mention Philip and I did do a webinar last year at this time, but instead of talking about continuing to service clients, we talked about prospecting and lead generation. Make sure you check that aspect out as well, because we really focused on using PreciseFP to get the name and the birth date. And if you can do those two things, you can use it, Bento Engine, as like a lead magnet where you can send them those date-based milestone content and kind of prove your worth in that prospect stage.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And then I did have another question, but it looks like it did get answered. It was about the PreciseFP side of when they completed their review and updated their information. Does it auto update the other tools, or do you have to manually sync them? And of course, there's kind of two philosophies of thought for this. One is I want things to be automatically updated everywhere. And then there's, oh, please do not let clients just put in information and it updates everywhere. So the answer is manual. You will have to press that export button in order for it to go. But that is kind of the only thing that's on your plate to do. All right. Well, those are all the questions. And I know Philip and I promised a nice, condensed, concise session today of 30 minutes. So we're just a few minutes over. Feel free to submit any questions. Philip, how can people get a hold of you if if they want more information?
Yeah, great question. Bentoengine.com. All the contact info is there. You can book a personal demo if you're so inclined. We talk about our programs. We talk about pricing. We give great testimonials from happy users from across the RIA and IBD spectrum. And I'm pretty prolific on LinkedIn as well, so you can find me there. Lastly, the email is very simple: Philip, one L and two P's at the end, at bentoengine.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you everyone so much for joining us, and have a great rest of the day.
Nora, great to see you as always. Love the partnership. Godspeed, everybody. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Bye-bye.